County High School as we get set for Game 2 between the Lanier Bulldogs, the winner out of Region 4 4A, and the runner-up from Region 1 4A, the Commodores, who defeated Louisville the other night in overtime to advance here to the North Half Championship. And they're excited to be here tonight, hoping to advance on for another matchup against the crosstown rival Chargers. It would be the 4th meeting of the year if they can get by a very tough Lanier team here tonight. Lanier under longtime head coach Thomas Billups. They're off and running this year with another impressive ranking in the state. And let's give you the lineup for them. They're led by one of the top freshmen, if not the top freshman in the state. Number 14 starting at guard, Monte Ellis. Ellis starting at guard. Also at guard is number 15, Eric Williams. Williams, number 15. Also at guard, a steady leader for Lanier, the senior, number 23, Jonathan Blackman. At forward is number 35, Sean Johnson. Johnson at forward. And the starting center, senior, number 54, Donaldo Bennett. That's your lineup for the Lanier Bulldogs. Starting tonight for Coach Michael Crowther and his Commodores, at guard, a 5'10 junior, averaging 13.2 points per game, running the point, number 3, Quentin Fox. Also at guard, a 5'11 senior, number 5, averaging 17.4 per outing, Marvin Flemings. At forward, a 6'2 junior, averaging 10 points per game, number 4, Jeffrey Dukes. Also at forward, a 6'4 senior, averaging 15.8 per night, number 30, Antonio Shaw. And at center, a 6'3 senior, averaging 9.7 points per game, number 32, Wesley Smith. Commodores are 20-11 on the season under Coach Michael Crowther, who has done a good job of turning this program around. This is the furthest they've gotten. The last couple of years they've got knocked out in the play-in game. Last year it was against Lanier. Down at Lanier, they played them a very good game before losing at the end. And now tonight, a big challenge for this squad. A lot of seniors on this team, though. They're not a young team, so they are very excited to be at this point and looking to advance on here tonight against Jackson Lanier. As we see the Commodores about to be introduced down on the floor. And let's take you down to the floor now for the introductions of the Commodores. Commodores will be wearing their gold uniforms tonight, trimmed in red and white. And Lanier will be in their traveling maroons, trimmed in the North Carolina blue and white. We'll get this one on the way as Smith will jump against Bennett. Bennett and Blackman are the two starters returning from last year's state runner-up team. The other guys are all new. Monty Ellis, we told you, number 14. He can play, averages over 20 points per outing for Coach Billups' team. Tip controlled by Lanier. It'll be Sean Johnson, who wears number 35. That's the number Solomon Forbes wore last year. So that's the number familiar with Lanier fans, as a near steal that time by Flemings. Lanier will open with the basketball. Here's Ellis. They swing it back out top here to Williams. Williams on the drive. Tried to dump it down low, taken away by Flemings. Good defense on the opening possession for the Commodores. Here's Shaw. Shaw lost it on the way up. Got it back, and a foul called against Lanier. And let's see if that's against Bennett. It is. Well, that's exactly what you want to do. Get Bennett in early foul trouble if you're the Commodores, and a quick one on him here in the first minute of action. Quentin Fox out top. Man-to-man defense here for the Bulldogs. Here's Shaw. Shaw is capable of catching fire in a hurry. Hanging jumper in the lane, up and good. Antonio Shaw with a nice move down low, a little runner in the lane, able to get it to fall, and it's 2-0 Commodores. Williams, blocked shot by Dukes. Commodores in transition. Fox driving layup is good. Quentin Fox with the floater down the lane, hits, and it's 4-0 Commodores. Quentin Fox has the challenge of trying to contain Monte Ellis, who has it here. He fires for three. That's long, no good. Long rebound comes down into the hands of Quentin Fox. Fox pushing it up the middle for the Commodores. Up 4-0 here in the first 2 minutes of this ball game as we approach the 6-minute mark. Shaw, 14-footer is up off the mark, no good. Flemings saves it inbounds to Shaw, and they'll reset the offense. Good hustle by Flemings. And traveling going to be called here against Fox that time as he was trying to back his way in, lost his footing, and turns it over. Brian Jones checking into the basketball game here early, and Eric Williams goes out. Commodores were really impressive in their win on the road against Louisville. They came from behind and were down 9 in the fourth quarter, came back to win it. Bennett, offensive rebound and the putback, puts the Bulldogs on the board and cuts the lead to 2. Dukes might have forced it a little bit there. It was partially blocked. Back the other way comes Blackman. Blackman drives. He's out of control and travels. Or are they going to call a foul? Let's see. They are going to call a foul against Lafayette. No question in my mind he walked, but evidently they say he was bumped, and so it will be whistled against the Commodores. And the foul is on Dukes. That's his first. Here's Ellis for three. Can't leave him open. He's missed 2 in a row, though. And the rebound comes down to Wesley Smith. Commodores by 2, 4-2. Long pass up the floor to Dukes. Here's Flemings in the lane. Flemings got in among the trees and decided not to shoot it. Now Blackman's triple team. Here's Ellis. Nice move down low. Won't go, but the follow by Donaldo Bennett. He's got 4. We're tied at 4. .442 left here in the first quarter. Shaw trying to back down the defender that time, and he drew the foul on Sean Johnson. Johnson picks up his first, team's second. Commodores will inbound. Here to Fox. Fox fakes the 3. Back out to Flemings. Nearly lost it, and now it's loose. Still loose on the floor, out of bounds, and they look at each other. They don't know. And if you don't know, call a jump ball. But they do give it to the Commodores. So the Doors will have it. 4-4 is the score. Low scoring first quarter here at the 4:24 mark. Flemings open for the jumper, won't go. Offensive rebound, put back by Shaw is good. Antonio Shaw, who had a 31-point outing earlier this season in the game against Oxford, has 4 here tonight. Sits 4 Doors. Blackman out top. Gets the screen. Rejected out of there by Smith. Up to Dukes. Dukes in the open floor. His shot is rejected the other way. And finally a foul called. Couple of good blocks by both teams, but Smith is going to get to go to the line to shoot a pair. Foul is on Bennett, I believe, and that If that's so, that's 2 on Bennett. It is. So Coach C has to feel pretty good about that, having 2 on the Lanier big man here in the early going. Looks like he may come out too, as Smith not able to hit the first free throw of the night for the Doors, and actually he stays in, and it's Johnson going out, and they come in with their other big man, Isaac Wells. Wells is a pretty tough junior himself, coming off the bench, the 6th man for the Bulldogs. Shaw's second free throw good, or Smith, excuse me. Smith 1 out of 2. And it's 7-4 Commodores. Ball knocked away, good hustle by Smith, and Smith went to the concession stand as he went right out the doors. Good hustle that time by Wesley Smith. I want to say congratulations to Wesley, of course. He'll be playing in the All-Star football game this summer down in Jackson, the Blackwell Classic. So congratulations to Wesley Smith, defensive back in that game. Be representing the North in that outing. Double teamed. Ellis got it off inside to Wells. Wells tried to dunk it. Wouldn't go down. Good interior defense by the Commodores. Here's Shaw. Shaw's going to fire. He drills it for 3. Antonio Shaw has 7. 10-4 Commodores by 6. There's a walk, and I think they call the charge. That's even better.
That's exactly what they called.
Yeah, that's even better if you're a Commodore fan. Foul is on Ellis. That's his first. Billups arguing with the officials. You know, the last time we saw him, Adam, he was heading for the showers early down in Jackson last year. Here's Fox. Good look. Partially blocked, though. Commodores crashed the board. Shot up and good. Reverse layup for Wesley Smith. Smith got a nice look inside off the deflection and went reverse for the basket. Monty Ellis, who's yet to score, averages about 21 a night, but he's quiet tonight as a freshman. You can't leave him that open, though. He blew another 3. He's missed 3 in a row. Bennett took it away, though, and drew the foul on Shaw. Bennett down low was able to knock it away from Shaw on the rebound, and he'll go to the line as Antonio picks up his first. Well, Monty Ellis is 0 for 3 right now, but you can't give him that many wide open looks. Free throw, no good. 2:26 to go in the first quarter. Commodores looking good. Up 12-4, matching their biggest lead of the night at 8. Second free throw up and good. He made 1 out of 2. And Bennett has 5 to lead the Bulldogs. In fact, he has all 5 of their points. Shot is up and good. Down low that time. That was Dukes, I believe, who got the bucket. 14-5. And Dukes that time, a little bit too close defense. They called him for a foul right in front of the bench. And that is going to be number 2 on Jeffrey Dukes. Lanier down 9, biggest lead of the night for the Doors. Ellis with the penetration, dumps it out for a 3-point basket and a wide open 3 that time for Jonathan Blackman. Blackman hits his first. Nice jump hop in the lane, won't go. And the rebound to Lanier. Flemings had a good look down low, but it wouldn't go down. Here's Ellis. Blackman, who's feeling it, will fire another 3. Short this time. Rebound Commodores. Smith clears it out of there. 14-8. Lafayette County on top. Minute 18 to go in the first quarter. Been a good first quarter for the Doors. Cross court pass. They work it around. Good execution. 3-pointer. Good by Fox. Potts was left alone, and he swished it from the left wing. He's got 5. 17-8. Again, matching the biggest lead for the Commodores. Three-pointer from the wing. That's no good. There's Bennett again. Bennett cleaning up the offensive boards here in the first quarter. Drew the foul and will go to the line. And that may have been on Dukes. No, it's on Shaw. Shaw picks up his second, though. So Dukes and Shaw with 2 each. And Ward getting ready to come in along with Jesse Jackson here at the next dead ball, which will be after this free throw. Bennett's free throw is good. 6 points for Donaldo Bennett. 30-second timeout taken now with 48 seconds to go in the quarter. And we'll keep it here. 17-9, the Commodores are on top. Once again, let us tell you about the sponsors helping us bring high school basketball to you throughout the playoff season. Grisani Rebel Motors, Johnson's Discount Furniture, By Candlelight and Gifts. Also Huddle House, Dr. Tripp Henderson, Henderson Chiropractic and Sports Rehab, Belt Ford and Oxford Toyota on Highway 6 West. Also Edward Jones Investments, Mr. Ed Gunn, investment representative here in Oxford, providing all your financial services to meet your individual needs. And if investing is what you need to do, then give him a call and invest in your future at 234-7326. That's Ed Gunn with Edward Jones Investments here in Oxford. Bennett with a second free throw upcoming. And it's up and in and out, no good. Good block out that time by Wesley Smith. Commodore lead is 8, 17-9. 40 seconds to go in the quarter. Jackson is trapped. Jackson tried to bounce it off of a Lanier defender and did, according to the official. Commodores maintain possession here. They'll take the final shot of the first quarter, I would think. Smart basketball here to work it around, and had a very successful first quarter here. You don't want to give Lanier a chance to get a quick bucket before the quarter ends here. They'll play it down to the final shot. Fox started to drive, now back out. They'll take their time. 10 seconds now. Time to make your move. Jackson, nice dish down low. And a hanging shot won't go. Fox again with a fadeaway. Wouldn't go. Ward tried to finish, couldn't do it. And that's going to do it for the first quarter of play, as the Commodores come out impressive here in the first quarter of action. And they lead Jackson Lanier after one, 17-9, led by 7 points out of Antonio Shaw. We'll take a break and be back right after this. Back to action, everyone, as we get set for second quarter of action here in the North Half playoffs in 4A, where the Commodores are trying to advance to take on the Chargers tomorrow night in the championship game. Right now they lead by 8, 17-9, but a steal there by the Bulldogs. There's a nice steal by Smith, who stepped around in the passing lane to pick that one off. Good job of reading the entry pass that time. Come away with the steal. They force it into Smith. They triple team him and take it away. Really forced that one in the post to Smith. He was triple teamed. And here's Ellis, who has been silenced in the first half. Jackson's on him. Lob down low to Bennett. Bennett had it blocked from behind by Smith, but they can't save it. And so it'll still be Bulldog ball. Good defense again down low by Wesley Smith. Bennett, 6 points in the first quarter. That led Lanier. They only had 3 field goals in that first quarter. So the Commodores' defense was excellent. Pull-up 14-footer for Blackman is there. Jonathan Blackman, his second bucket. He's got 5. Long pass up to Shaw. Good move by Shaw. Can't get it to go, though, as it was partially blocked. Back the other way comes Ellis. Ellis in the open floor. Had it knocked away and stolen by Fox. Good job of defense by Fox that time. Reading the pass, stepping in. And then Ellis is reaching in, and he picks up his second. So Monte Ellis now with 2. Bennett has 2. So your top 2 players probably for Lanier in a little bit of foul trouble with 2. Down low to Ward, turnaround jumper won't go, tipped up in the air. Shaw picks up the loose ball. His hanging shot won't go. Rebound battle for, and it's Ellis coming out of there with it for the Bulldogs. Long pass up the floor to Bennett. Bennett couldn't corral it though, he lost it out of bounds. Bennett was trying to do a little bit too much before he gained control. He was thinking about going up for the shot and he lost it. And so it goes back over to the Commodores. 17-11, Doors on top. They've led pretty much throughout this one. In fact, they've led the whole way. Lanier was able to tie it at 4-4, but that was it. Fox fakes a 3, beautiful move, hanging shot. They call a charge, I believe. Or no, they call a block. Well, now they're changing it. One official called a block, one of them called a charge. That's an absolutely terrible call, Adam.
I don't know. It's one of those calls where let the player put too much of a fake on it to get the call, but yet again, it like he had position. So I don't know. To me, it really like he sort of took the dive that time. Should have been more of a no call.
I agree. When he had position, but Fox maneuvered his body around him where he really didn't make that much contact. More of a flop, I believe, and like you said, I think it should have been a no call. At least if 2 officials disagree, call it a jump ball. But they give the foul to Fox, and that's his first. Here's Ellis, who has put up a goose egg so far. He hasn't scored. He forces a 3 here and misses again. 0 for 4 from downtown tonight. And the ball goes over to the Commodores. And Dukes returns to the lineup. And Fleming's going to get a breather.
You got to think, Don, the more he misses, the more he's going to force him. And the more he forces him, the more he's going to miss him.
1-2-2 press now for Jackson Lanier. They're going to try to do some trapping out of this. And Jackson, Jesse Jackson, turns it over right there, an unforced turnover. Just some miscommunication between he and Dukes. 6-point Commodore lead. Ellis with a good pass down low to Bennett, and Bennett goes up for the bucket. 8 points for Donaldo Bennett. Commodores working against that 1-2-2 trap. Ellis slaps it out of bounds. It'll still be Commodore basketball. Lanier's cut into this lead. It's down to 4 now after the Commodores had as much as a 4 or 9-point lead at one point. It's 17-8. They haven't scored though in the quarter until now. Antonio Shaw has got 10. 20-13. On the drive, blocked by Shaw. Follow-up, though, is good by Bennett. Bennett doing the garbage work down low, got the loose ball, stuck it back in. Commodores forced the pass there, and it's taken away. Back the other way come the Bulldogs. Blackman fires from long range. That's a brick. And over the back is the call here against number 35, Sean Johnson, and that's his second. So only 6 fouls against Lanier, but they've got 2 on 3 different players, and Ellis, Johnson, and Bennett, 3 of their starters. Ward checks out for Lafayette. And the starters are back in with the exception of Flemings. Jackson's in there for him. Bulldogs want to trap right across half court. Fatso splits the defenders, finds Shaw open for 3. Yes! Antonio Shaw with 3 3-pointers tonight and 13 points here in the first half. 8-point Commodore lead. Back out for 3, Ellis. Ellis is 0 for 5. Blackman now, he'll try it from the right wing. He's going to be short. Ellis the rebound, the scoop shot, it won't go. Bennett comes up with another offensive rebound, but a charge. And that's number 3 on the big man. Decision time for Thomas Phillips. Now you take a look at him, he's not too happy right now. Shaking his head, and he's going to leave. No, he's going to take Bennett out. He's come in with Isaac Wales, another big man. So Bennett's probably done for the half. He's their leading scorer with 10 points. But he has 3 fouls. So here, chance for the Commodores to put some distance between them And the Bulldogs, if they can get some points down low with Shaw and Smith. Here's Shaw again. He's feeling it. This one, though, bounces off the iron, no good. And the rebound comes down to Lanier. 8-point Commodore lead. Here's Ellis. Little shake and bake. Pump fake. Hangs and puts it in. Ellis finally gets on the board. His first 2 of the night. This trap really not causing that much problems for the Commodores. Fox penetrates. High-end shot won't go. Rebound tipped up. Rebound comes down into the hands of Ellis. In transition, off to Blackman. Blackman blows by his man. Shot won't go. Rebound coming down to Smith. Out to Flemings. Flemings 1-on-1. Down he goes. Puts it up and in. Good job by Flemings that time to bump the defender off, draw some room, and get the bucket. First points of the night for Flemings. Last time we saw the Commodores against Oxford, Flemings had a slow first half. Charging foul on Wells. Jackson took the charge, and Wells picks up his first. Commodore basketball now up 8, 25-17, and the Commodores are executing beautifully here in the first half. They get, Jackson's going to fire a long three-pointer, bad shot. Forced a three, threw up an air ball. That's not what you want. 2.5 minutes to go in the half. Down low they go to Johnson. Johnson dribbled it off his foot out of bounds. Lanier's having some problems with this tough defense of the Commodores. We'll have some halftime stats for you at halftime for the first half. Commodores have controlled this first half so far. They lead by 8. Good pump fake that time. Shot won't go, though, for Flemings. Ellis clears the rebound on the offside. Ellis bringing it up. Excellent bounce pass down low to Johnson. Johnson hangs, draws the foul, and will go to the line. Sean Johnson will step to the line for a pair. And the foul's on Wesley Smith. That's his first. Free throw, no, wouldn't go. Lanier's only 2 out of 5 from the free throw line, just 40% here in the first half. Big contrast to what we saw in the first game where both teams shot lights out from the free throw line. Free throw, second one is good. Johnson has his first point of the night. Under 2 minutes to go now. Commodores by 7. They've led the entire way. Ever since it was tied 4-4, since then they've led. Backdoor layup is good for Marvin Flemings. Excellent look that time and a dish by Shaw to Flemings, who has 4. Once again, they allowed that play to develop, and now Ellis hits the 3. You don't want him to get started. He's got 5, his first 3 of the night. He had gone 0 for 5 in his first 5 attempts from behind the line, but hits one there. 27-21. Here's Flemings down low. Smith spins, hangs, puts it up and in. Excellent move by Wesley Smith as he got it over Isaac Wells for his second bucket of the night. He's got 5. Once again, excellent execution by the Commodores, getting it down low in the post. Bank shot by Wells is good. Point blank opportunity that time for Wells, and he was able to stick it in for his first bucket. 29-23, Commodores by 6. Under a minute to go. Here's Flemings. Flemings puts it up from the elbow. In and out, no good. That one was halfway down. Just wouldn't go down for the Doors. Back the other way comes Blackman. Blackman on the penetration. Runs over the defender. No call. And it's flushed down by Wells. Smith thought he had a charge, but they didn't call it. And Wells with his second straight bucket. He's got 4. 4-point lead now. Shaw pulls up. Forces up a shot, no good. Good defense that time by Wells. Forced Shaw into a tough shot. 20 seconds to go. Bulldogs down 4. Blackman, baseline drive. Leaves it now for Ellis. He'll fire a 3. It's no good. Jackson the rebound. 10 seconds to go. Commodores have to push it up here. 7 seconds. Flemings, good look from 17. No, wouldn't go. 2 seconds, 1 second, that's going to do it. for the first half of play. And the Commodores led by 13 points out of Antonio Shaw, including 3 3-pointers. And the Doors leading at halftime over Jackson Lanier by the score of 29-25. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll give you some first half stats here from Lafayette, where the Commodores looking good after one half of play. We'll be back in just a moment. Time everyone, as the Lafayette County cheerleaders performing here at halftime. And let's take a look at the stats for you here at halftime. First for the Jackson Lanier Bulldogs, 10 points in the first half for Donaldo Bennett, but he stuck with 3 fouls after one half of play. 5 points from Monte Ellis, 1 3-pointer and 1 bucket. He was 1 for 6 though from 3-point land. Jonathan Blackman had 5 points also in the first half. 4 points for Isaac Wells off the bench, and Sean Johnson 1 out of 2 from the free throw line for 1 point. Foul situation, Bennett's got 3, Johnson with 2, and Ellis with 2 for the Bulldogs. They're only 3 out of 6 from the free throw line, just 50% in the first half. For the Commodores, Antonio Shaw led the way, 13 points, 3 3-pointers in the first half to lead the Doors. 5 points for Quentin Fox, including a 3. 5 points for Wesley Smith. 4 points on the night for Marvin Flemings on a couple of buckets, and Jeffrey Dukes had 1 bucket for 2 points. Nobody in any significant foul trouble. Shaw's got 2. Jeffrey Dukes has 2. Commodores were 1 out of 2 from the free throw line in the first half, 50%. Well, we're going to be joined here by our player of the game from the first game, Andrew Westmoreland, who had 29 points, right after this break, so stay with us. Welcome back, everyone, here at halftime, where the Commodores are leading at the break, 29-25. And we're glad to be joined now by our player of the game, senior Andrew Westmoreland for the Oxford Chargers, who came out in the second half and blew away Yazoo City 73-58. And first of all, Andrew, congratulations on a big win here tonight, advancing to the championship game of the North half for the second straight year.
Thank you. It feels real good. We worked so hard to get here, and now we did. It feels good.
You know, we've said all year that the Chargers are one of the best teams at making adjustments at halftime. You trailed the entire first half, but what did Coach Tyler tell you at halftime to get you guys to come out and pretty much dominate the second half?
Well, he told us the truth. We really didn't come out to play. They were out hustling us, out rebounding us, just outplaying us. We took them a little lightly, I think, at first. You know, they came out and played ball in the first half. And we did the second half, and that was the difference. Kendall
Granderson really dominated the first half. He had 18 points. You guys were able to slow him down, and that was a big difference in the second half.
Yes, sir, it was. Vincent, he played pretty well on him. He was, you know, I don't want to bash the refs or anything, but he was getting away with some stuff inside. But I'll give him his credit. He's a good player. And but we were able to slow him down a little bit in the second half. Play better help side. And I think that was the difference.
You guys really beat them in all phases of the game in the second half, but none more than at the free throw line, where this team shot 20 out of 23 for the game. And that's what makes great ball clubs and a special team, when you can do the good things like fundamentals and hit free throws when you have to in the big games.
Yes, sir. I didn't know we hit that many. Yeah, that's a big reason we won right there. You know, we shoot 25 before practice every day, and everybody, they really concentrate when they do it, and it's paying off right now.
You had the hot hand tonight from three-point line, 29 points, and I know you're a big North Carolina fan, Andrew, but at one point tonight, I compared you to Mike Dunleavy's performance last night. I don't know if you saw it. He was on fire for Duke, and similar type of game. You looked like you were really feeling it there at one point, wanting the basketball.
Yes, sir. I always want the ball, even if I miss it. But tonight I happened to be hit, and my teammates were finding me. And I'm honored to be compared to Mike Dunleavy. He's a great player. I appreciate that.
Well, tomorrow night you got a big matchup. Either one of these two teams is going to be a big test for you guys. But last year, you know, you lost the championship game. You went in as number 2 seed. It worked out for you, but I know you would like to go in as number 1 and get some time off and already be in the semifinals.
Oh, yes, sir, we would. You know, we were able to do it last year. It makes a difference. Not a huge difference, though, if you have that bye, but it would be nice to get it.
Andrew, we appreciate you joining us here at halftime, and go back and enjoy the second half and rest a little bit for tomorrow afternoon.
I sure will. See you guys tomorrow.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
We'll take a break and come back here with the second half. Commodores on top, 29-25. Back in a moment. For the second half here from Lafayette. Second game of the doubleheader tonight is the Commodores. Very impressive in the first half, trying to advance to a championship date with the Oxford Chargers, who won earlier. As we talked to Andrew Westmoreland at halftime. Basically 2 teams out of the north against 2 teams out of the Metro Jackson area. There's Ellis on the penetration, not able to go down. Rebounds loose. Lanier controls it to Blackman. Blackman with a spin move. Puts it up and in. Nice move underneath that time by Blackman. He's got 7. Beautiful play that time down low by Jonathan Blackman. He's a guy that we saw a lot last year in the couple of times that Lanier played against Oxford, and he was a steady, good steady ball player. Didn't do a whole lot of big-time scoring, but he was a steady guy in that lineup for him last year. Solomon Forbes, of course, was the main cog in their engine, but he's gone now, and Blackman has taken up some of the leadership along with Donaldo Bennett. But Ellis has been their big-time scorer, but so far tonight he's been quiet with only 5 points. Commodores need a bucket on this trip. 2-point lead here. Shaw's going to fire from deep. That one's way off, no good. Flemings, good hustle though. Good job by Flemings. Chased it down in the corner, gave it back to Shaw, who stepped out of bounds. Our next telecast will be Thursday night at 8 o'clock. We'll have the championship games that'll be playing on later this afternoon. And then we'll be coming to you from Jackson, whenever that might be, depending on the outcome of today's games. 29-27. Commodores get a nice steal that time on defense. Been a real smart game plan tonight for Coach C. He's come out and done a good job, and ball's loose out of bounds. It'll still be Commodore ball. 2-point advantage. This one has all the makings to come down to the wire as we thought the first one might, but the Chargers really turned it on the second half and pulled away to win by 15. Here's a 3 for Fox. That one's long, no good. Rebound comes down to Wales. Chance to take the lead now for the Bulldogs. Wales started the second half instead of Bennett, who's out with 3 fouls. 3-point attempt no good for Blackman, but the long rebound coming down to Williams. Blackman drives baseline, hangs, misses, got his own rebound, basket and a foul. And so Blackman stepping up his game here to start the second half, and he has a chance to give the Bulldogs their first lead of the night. Well, you know, this game is very similar to the first game, Adam, when Oxford did not lead the whole first half, then came out in the second half. Hopefully, it won't turn out the same for the Commodores.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the key to every basketball game. Which team comes in the second half and really gets off on the good foot. You know, both teams want to do that, and right now, Lafayette's just got to step up.
A steal by Blackman, and the Commodores might need to get a timeout here. Blackman has come out in the second half. He scored 7 and has 12 points now on the night to lead the Dogs. 32-29 is the score. 3-point lead now for Jackson Lanier. 2-on-1 break now. Flemings alley-oop dunk to Antonio Shaw. Shaw was up in the rafters that time to slam that one home. That brought the Commodore crowd to their feet. 32-31. Ellis. Fox has got him. Fox has done a tremendous job tonight on Monte Ellis. Got to give it to Quentin Fox. He's one of the better defenders in this area, and he's doing a good job tonight. Now they match up on the inbound pass. Long 3-pointer by Ellis, no good. He's 1 for 7 now from 3-point land, and the Commodores get the rebound. Up to Shaw. Gives it up to Fox. Fox, beautiful pass down low to Flemings. He threaded the needle, and Flemings has 6. 33-32, Commodores back up by 1. Here's Blackman. Blackman trying to take over the second half, and again he'll go to the line for a pair. the senior Jonathan Blackman. He's been there in some big games for Lanier, and now in the second half he's trying to step it up.
Well, as a senior, he knows these guys take and step it up whenever your main man's on the bench with 3 fouls. He wanted to take and keep him on there as long as he can by keeping him in this ball game, and that way he can be fresh and be able to come in and play some quality minutes.
Free throw, though, is no good. Lanier continues to have their struggles at the line, just 4 out of 8. Ward now will give Smith a rest on the Commodore bench. Lanier trying to tie it up here at the 4:55 mark. And it's short. He missed them both. Rebound Shaw. 33-32. Full court press here by Lanier. Up to Flemings. Flemings, beautiful pass to Ward for the layup in the basket and a foul. Ward will have a chance for the 3-point play. Good transition offense by the Commodores. Broke the press and got the layup, and that's exactly what you want to do.
Absolutely. It seems like every time the Commodores sort of hit a spot in that press where they can't get past, they just make that one last pass, and everything just breaks out good for them.
Ward at the free throw line. Commodores, this will be only their 3rd trip of the night. And the free throw is missed. Long, no good. And the rebound to Lanier. 3-point Commodore lead here with 4:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter. They try to go down low to Wells. Wells, the big southpaw, fumbles it around, then finally gathers it. Nice bounce pass off to his teammate for the layup. Sean Johnson that time got free down low for the good look. Back the other way, Commodores with the advantage, but good hustle to come back and steal it that time was Brian Burns. Burns might have got away with a travel underneath that time right after he stole it. Ellis makes contact, pull-up jumper. He continues to struggle. Jackson the rebound. Here's Shaw. Dukes from the baseline. Good look, and he buries it. That's Dukes' shot right there from the baseline as he hits his 4th point of the night. Commodores by 3. Back and forth we go. 3:47 left in the 3rd quarter. Wells wants it down low. Shaw doing a good job of fronting him, though, not letting him get the entry pass. Good job by the Commodore defense. They've really played well on the defensive side of the ball tonight. Blackman had it taken away by Shaw. Good defense again by the Commodores. 3-point advantage for the Doors. Fox gives it off to Jackson. Jackson pull up 18-footer. No, wouldn't go. Rebound kicked out to Blackman. He'll bring it up for the Bulldogs. Blackman down the lane, little jump stop. Left it short, no good. Rebound tipped up, and Jackson finally controls it. Another good stop that time for the Commodores on the defensive end. They lead 37-34. 2:50 to go. Jackson, he shot that one from Abbeville. No good, and a rebound comes in to Lanier. I'm not sure that's the point shot you want at this point. Blackman trying to tie it up. He's off the mark. Collision underneath, out of bounds. And they look at each other and finally award it to the Bulldogs. Substitutions coming in. Bennett comes back in, Donaldo Bennett, number 54. And also checking back in is Brian Jones for Lanier. Wesley Smith gets a breather, as does Dukes. 3-pointer again, Ellis misses. Shot underneath, though, and a point-blank shot that time is good for Sean Johnson. He's got a couple of those down low here in the second half. Nearly a steal that time. In the corner, Shaw for 3. No, this one won't go. Knocked away, though, and stolen by Ward. Commodores lead is 1 now. Coach Crowther giving some instructions right in front of the bench that time to his team with under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. A victory tonight secures you a trip to Jackson. Fleming, will it count? No, they wave it off before the shot. Fleming tried to get the continuation, but they didn't give it to him, and so it'll be a non-shooting foul. Commodores will inbound under the basket, but a big foul, though, because that's number 4 on Donaldo Bennett.
You know, I think they'll say we don't want the basket. We'll take the foul instead, especially in that magnitude right there. 4th foul on the big man.
Coach Phillips, he's unhappy with his senior center, Donaldo Bennett, and now he only got about a minute of playing time before he went right back to the bench. So he'll sit some more here with Commodores up by 1. Ward turn around in the lane, banks it in. That's a nice move by Ward, and Sherrod has 4. Commodores back up by 3. Ellis, pull-up jumper, free throw line, good. Ellis, who's been cold from the three-point line, and if you're a scorer like he is, that's what you need to do, is try to hit some easier shots. Ward's got an open look baseline, air ball. Flemings again with the hustle. Follow won't go, but it's tipped in by Ward. Back-to-back field goals by Ward. Commodores back up by 3 again. Crowd really getting into it now. Ellis for 3. He's 1 for 9. Rebound Fox. Flemings banks it up from the wing, and it's good. That's Flemings' shot right there. He's got a patent on that shot. That little 10-footer off the glass. He's got 8 on the night. 5-point Commodore lead. Ellis again. Ellis continues to struggle. 20 seconds to go. Commodores can play for the final shot of the quarter. Up by 5. They've been able to maintain that lead. Now Ward for 3. That's way off. That's a bad shot by Ward with that much time on the clock. 8 seconds. Blackman back the other way, but Lanier turns it over. So now the Doors have 5 seconds to get the ball up the court and get off a shot. Ward took that shot just a little bit too quick that time and gave Lanier an opportunity, but they turned it over in transition. Coach Crowther getting Fox a breather now before the end of the quarter, so he'll have a little extra time before the 4th quarter. He's done such a good job on Monte Ellis. Flemings lost it, throws up a shot, and if he'd made that one, that would have made the highlight reel, but
no doubt. That's
the end of the 3rd quarter. Commodores continuing to lead over Lanier. 8 minutes to go. It's the Commodores on top, 43-38. Back in a moment. .43-38's your score as we go to the 4th quarter of play. We've had a great couple of basketball games tonight here in 4A from Lafayette County High School. There's a charging foul there, I believe. No. They called a block.
That's the right call. See, he didn't get there in enough time whatsoever. He was still dragging that one back foot.
So that will be before the shot, I would guess. Yes, it is.
No doubt before the shot.
Foul is on Shaw, and that's his 3rd. So 2 of the key players now for both teams, a little bit of foul trouble. Bennett's got 4 for Lanier. He's on the bench. Shaw's got 3, and a turnover by the Bulldogs.
Blame that one on the coach whatsoever. He can't blame that on his own player because he was yelling at his player and distracted him from the game. And then when the point guard was to throw it right back to him, he just threw it over his head because he wasn't even looking.
Then he takes the player out. So, well, you know, there's not much respect on my end for Coach Thomas Billups after some of the comments he made last year after Oxford beat him in the North Half Championship were absolutely uncalled for and blamed it on the officials, the reason they lost. And fact was, he just got beat by a better team and rejected out of bounds that time by Isaac Wells. Good help side defense that time by Wells.
Yeah, there's no doubt he's an ill-tempered coach, and you know, you can say that's the competitiveness in a coach, but you know, you can take it to a certain extreme, you can take it too far.
Jackson bringing it up here. Off to Shaw. Shaw's been the key man tonight with 15 points. He averages 15, so he's right on that. Only 2, though, in the second half. They need to get him hot. There's a steal by Ellis. Ellis, one-on-one drive against Jackson. He drew the contact and will step to the line. Jackson picks up his first. Ellis will shoot 2. This will be his first trip to the free throw line tonight. Only 7 points for the freshman, a guy who averages over 20 a night. He's been one of the reasons Lanier has been able to contend this year because of the play of this young freshman. He gets a free throw here. He's got 8. 5 out of 10 now for Jackson Lanier. Free throw in and out. He missed it. Rebound Shaw. In the corner, Shaw not able to get the shot off as Blackman ran at him. Back to Smith. Smith had it poked away from behind. Good steal. They got a Snowberg now and an easy layup for Ellis. 10 points for Ellis and a quick timeout taken by Coach C. And he wants his team to regroup here. And it's a full timeout. 6:34 left in the ball game. Lafayette County 43, Lanier 41. Back in a moment. Six and a half to go as the Commodores inbound and a foul called against the Bulldogs. They called that one on number 22. That's Brian Jones. That's his first. 14 fouls on each team, so neither team in the bonus at this juncture. 6.5 minutes to go. Fox double teamed in the backcourt, had it knocked away and stolen by Ellis. Ellis then puts it up and in. Ellis able to maneuver his way up to get the shot, and now all of a sudden Ellis has caught fire. He's got 12. Flemings then, he turned it over, and the Commodores will keep it on the alternate possession rule. And, you know, they haven't had trouble all night. We've talked about how well the Commodores have gone against this press, but all of a sudden they're trying to dribble through it, and they've had a couple of turnovers. Now they'll set the half-court offense. Tied at 43. Fox drives down the lane. Jackson from way outside, and he's way off. Jackson, he's cold tonight. Sometimes he can catch fire, and he's as streaky a shooter as you'll see, but not tonight. Good dish down low, and a layup is good for Wales. Lanier starting to take command now. The Commodores really need a bucket. And another timeout taken as they want to talk it over with 5:39 to go, and Jackson Lanier now, their crowd beginning to make some noise for the first time tonight as they're up 45-43, and we got one man down here holding up his cushion. There he is. Let's tell you some more of our sponsors tonight, and we want to thank them for their continued support of high school athletics. We enjoy bringing them to you, but we couldn't do it without them. So if you see these guys, owners and staff, go by and tell them how much you appreciate it. And we hope to be bringing you a whole lot more action throughout the first couple of weeks of March. Ball Sign Company, Mr. Coolidge Ball. Also Furniture World here in Oxford. University Sporting Goods, Mr. Pat Patterson and all his crew. Dr. Watt Bishop, orthodontist here in town, and also in Tupelo and Grenada. El Chorritos and Tequilas, Mexican Grill. And also Mechanics Bank in Water Valley and Oxford. Also want to thank Edward Jones Investments, Mr. Ed Gunn Investor. Custom Auto Accessories down in Houston, sponsoring sports here in the Oxford area. And also Tri-State Termite and Pest Control. Give them a call for your inspections and to get rid of those pests. Give them a call here in Oxford. Nice spin move that time by Flemings. 10 points for Marvin Flemings. He's the leading scorer at 17 a game. 10 points tonight. It's tied at 45. 5:16 to go. Both crowds very intense here at this point in the game. Shaw continues to front the man down low. Wells, turnaround 10-footer is good. Isaac Wells, he's a good ball player off the bench, the sixth man. He's got 8. Nice little floater down the lane, and the teardrop falls for Quentin Fox. He's got 7. 47 apiece. This one's coming down to the wire. A steal by Flemings. Flemings out in the open floor. Hesitated and got around his man. That should have been goaltending. They didn't call it, but Smith followed. That ball hit the backboard and then he blocked it. But it worked out okay for the Doors as Smith stuck it back in. He's got 7. 4:10 to go in the game. Ellis trying to go one-on-one. Flemings is on him now. Turnaround jumper's good. Well, this Monte Ellis in 3 years, Adam, he's going to be highly recruited. He almost reminds you of a little bit of Mo Williams out of Jackson Murray, who's playing over at Alabama now. The way he plays, runs the point guard position. You figure he might grow even some more, height-wise, and get a little stronger. 49-49. He struggled in the first half, but now he's the leading scorer for Lanier with 14 points. 4 minutes to go. We're at the halfway mark of the fourth quarter. All tied at 49. And you know, Adam, if you're Coach Tyler, you got to love this. Both teams in a tough game, wearing themselves down, where tomorrow night they might, or tomorrow afternoon, is a quick turnaround when you exert a lot of energy like they're going to have to do tonight.
Absolutely. Here. I think the longer this ball game goes on and the harder it's fought.
Flemings wide open for the layup in the bucket. Excellent steal that time, and Flemings got loose for his 12th point. Flemings, he's come on strong here in the second half. He really plays well in second half of play. Last few games we've seen him, he stepped it up big time in the second half of play. Here's Ellis, penetration move, no good, but a great tip in that time by Isaac Wales. Well, Wales has come in with Bennett in foul trouble, and he's done a good job down low in the paint. Bennett's back in now, and if you're the Commodores, I think you might want to go right at him. Try to see if you can't get him out of here. 2:50 to go, although he has been silent in the second half with that foul trouble. Shaw, penetration, count the basket, and he'll go to the line. Listen to the crowd. 17 for Shaw. We said at Westmoreland we thought was underrated. I think Shaw is too. If he was a couple of inches taller, we'd be talking about this guy as a Division I prospect, because he can shoot from outside and put it on the floor, but might be just a little bit short for a low post guy at only 6'4". Bennett, he's out of here. He fouled out. So Bennett's done for the night. He was a non-factor in the second half. Free throw good for Shaw. He's got 18. Commodores now 2 out of 4 from the free throw line. They lead it by 3. 54-51. 2:37 to go in the game. Here's Wales. Wales driving baseline and pushed by Smith. That's a good foul by Smith, because Wales definitely had him on his hip and was probably going to get a bucket that time. Smith with his second. Lanier to inbound. Just the 5th team foul against the Doors. They're up by 3. Winner advances to the championship game tomorrow afternoon, or later on this afternoon. And Blackman again. Let me tell you, Blackman, he stepped it up with Bennett's lackadaisical second half, not doing anything, and it's been Blackman who's got some big-time buckets down low tonight. 14 points. Smith is fouled out. Well, I said a while ago he only had 2, but he actually had 4, so lost there. But Smith is out of there with 5 fouls, so the 2 centers for both teams are gone. For the final 2:21, Blackman ties it up. 15 for Jonathan Blackman, and we've got a timeout on the floor. 2:21 left in this one. at least in regulation. We're all tied at 54. We'll cut away and hear from some of our sponsors and be back to Lafayette County right after this. Back to action as you take a look at Antonio Shaw, who's at 18 points tonight. Hadn't hit a three in a while. This will be a good time for one right here with 2:20 to go. Although Coach C is going to tell his team to make sure you get a good shot. And that's exactly what you want right there, a foul, because now 1-and-1 opportunity for the Commodores. Both teams are in the bonus from here on out, so it could come down to free throws. The foul is on Brian Jones. Neither team has really shot lights out. The Commodores have only shot 4, made 2. It's only 50%. Lanier shot 11, made 5. That's only 45%. Fox is at the line to shoot a couple here. If he can make the first one, he can get a second. Free throw, no, he missed it. Rebound, tipped up and controlled by Wells. Well, we've talked so much how important free throw shooting is, and big miss there. Game is tied at 54. These two teams, we told you in the opening, they played last year at Lanier. Bulldogs won it. There's a little floater up and good by Ellis. Ellis has had a good second half. He's got 11 in the second half after scoring just 5 in the first. 56-54 the score now. Here's Dukes. Bulldogs by 2. Fox drives, had it knocked away from behind, and they give it to Lanier. Coach C can't believe it, and I can't either. There's been some bad calls tonight. Lanier now is going to work some clock. Smart basketball here by the Bulldogs. You got the lead. Make the other team press the issue. Commodores wanted a 5-second call. There's a bump underneath. Wells tips it in. A no call there. And Wells has 12 points and Lanier by 4. Commodores need a bucket bad here. Jackson has it blocked. And Lanier now with the ball. And you may be forced into fouling now with only 53 seconds to go. Stolen though by Dukes. Off to Jackson. The layup is good. That's a huge steal by Dukes. Got it to Jackson for the layup. And that'll sit this Lanier crowd over here in front of us right back down. As big bucket there for Jesse Jackson. His first 2 of the night. 47 seconds to go in the basketball game. Well, Adam, some other teams from our area, as far as TV7 is concerned, playing tonight as well. H.W. Byers in Calhoun City in 1A action tonight, with the winner taking on either B.L. Moore or Ingomar in 1A action. Been a good year for the Wildcats. And, you know, about 5 years ago, they were a force in 2A back in the days of Rudy Drain and some of those guys and Jody Jennings. But last few years have been down since they dropped to 1A, but those young players have finally grown up, and they're having a pretty good season.
Absolutely. I mean, if you want to watch an exciting ball game, you need to go watch these guys play. I mean, they're just continuously up and down the floor, just like old Calhoun City basketball.
Also, number 6, Lady Trojans from Bruce, having a big-time year. Only 2 losses on the season. 1 to Columbus, the other one to Tupelo, 2 5A schools. And they're really rolling. They're in the tournament up in Belmont playing Mound Bayou tonight. Back to action here. Commodores they don't have to foul just yet. Down only 2. You can kind of pick and choose who you want to foul at this point. And that's a good foul. They fouled Wells, and that's probably the guy that you want to foul. Of course, we don't know the shooting percentages of these guys. I'm sure Coach C does. But you would think Wells, the big guy, would probably be one of their weaker free throw shooters. But he's got to make both of them to make it a 2-possession game with 29 seconds to go. The foul was on Jackson. The good news is it's only a 1-and-1. Jackson went out. Dukes, Fleming, Fox, Ward, and Shaw on the floor right now for Lafayette. Wells free throw, got it. Timeout taken now. 30-second timeout. 59-56 is the score. And you take a look at some of the Lanier fans whooping it up over there. And there's that guy with his seat cushion again. You know, Adam, tonight, you got to say one of the big players tonight for Lanier has been Isaac Wells. Donaldo Bennett got in foul trouble, and that was an asset, you would think, for the Commodores to get him out of there. But Wells has come off the bench down low, stepped it up for 13 big points.
There's a lot of guys that stepped it up for Lanier tonight, and that just shows winning attitude and senior leadership.
Chance to make it a 4-point lead and 2-possession game with 29 seconds to go. Free throw is good. He made them both. 2 clutch free throws there for Isaac Wells. There's 7 out of 13 now on the night. Commodores need a bucket. You don't have to have a 3. 3 would be nice, but you need something quick. Fox driving left, that's what you want. And a quick timeout. Fox with 9. If they're going to give you a layup, you got to take it at that point. 17 seconds is a lot of time. And you force Lanier to hit free throws down the stretch. There's a full timeout, or actually a 30-second timeout. So we will keep it here. We talked a little bit about the Lady Trojans. They're playing Mound Bayou tonight. And the winner of that one will play either Belmont or Shelby Broad Street. And that's a pretty competitive 2A division in the North. Belmont's the defending state champions and the host team. And really, the North is where the strength is in 2A. Most people feel like whoever comes out of that is probably going to be your state champion. Commodores have to foul now. You can't choose who you want at this situation. And they foul Ellis. 13 seconds to go. You got to try to foul whoever you can. If you don't get the steal right off, give the foul. And now Lanier forced to hit free throws down the stretch. Something they haven't done that well tonight. They're 7 out of 13, barely over 50%. This will be the final 1-on-1 attempt. After this, they'll go to a double bonus if there is another foul. Ellis, the freshman, free throw, good. He doesn't look like a freshman at all, does he, Adam?
Not at all. This kid's got ice water running through his veins right now because, I mean, to be a freshman and have this type of situation on your shoulders and step to the line like that's no big deal free throw, you know, it just says a lot for the kid.
61-58. Hopefully, time permitting, we'll have our post-game show after this one. We'll give you some final stats as well and also tell you about our player of the game. And if Lanier holds on to win it, you got to give it to Monty Ellis. He was shut down in the first half. Only 5 points, but 12 in the second half and some big baskets down the stretch. Let's see if you can jinx him into missing one here. Free throw is up, and he got the roll. 18 now for Ellis. 62-58. Fox for 3, no. Rebound battle for Blackman, has it, and he's fouled. Well, Fox had it lined up, but it was just a little bit short. And now the Lanier fans celebrating what they feel like is a victory. With 2 seconds to go in the ball game. Blackman will be at the charity stripe now for 2 shots. This one's over because there's no way the Commodores can get a 5-point play with 2.4 seconds to go, as Got to give Blackman a lot of credit tonight as well. Second free throw, good. It's a 6-point lead. And we're going to have a rematch of last year's state championship and North Half championship as well tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, where the Oxford Chargers will take on the Jackson Lanier Bulldogs in what is starting to become a pretty good rivalry in high school basketball. We look forward to that one. Let's give you some final stats here on tonight's game. A 6-point victory for Lanier. And our player of the game tonight, I think you probably agree with me, Adam, Monte Ellis, 18 points, the freshman. He only had 5 in the first half, but the second half, at one point he was 1 out of 9 from three-point land. He didn't really shoot the three-point shot very well tonight, but he was able to do what he had to lead the team with 18 points. 17 for Jonathan Blackman, a good effort for the senior. Isaac Wells, a huge night off the bench with 14 points. 10 for Donaldo Bennett. 5 points for Sean Johnson. 10 out of 16, or excuse me, 11 out of 17 from the free throw line on the night for Lanier, right at 70%. For the Commodores, they were led by Antonio Shaw, who had 18 points. 12 points for Marvin Flemings. Quentin Fox had 9. 7 points for Wesley Smith. 6 points for Sherrod Ward. Jeffrey Dukes had 4. Jesse Jackson had 2. Lafayette only went to the line 5 times tonight. That was a major factor in this game. Lanier shooting 17 free throws to Lafayette's 5. They only made 2. 40% from the free throw line as the Commodores dropped to 20-12 on the season. But the good news, Adam, it's not over. They still have one more game to play at least. Tomorrow afternoon we'll be here as they'll take on Yazoo City in the consolation game, and a chance to get to Jackson. And you know, once you get to Jackson, it doesn't really matter what seed you are. You got a chance to play to move on for a state championship. So not the end of the line for these Commodores.
Absolutely. After tonight, I mean, your record's still 0-0 because you live to fight another day, and if you win that battle, you know, you go on. You know, I mean, that's just the way it will be from here on out.
So that sets the matchups for tomorrow afternoon, as we'll be here with TV 12 and Vista 3 Media, as first game will be Yazoo City, the Indians, taking on the Commodores from Lafayette County in the consolation matchup. And the championship should be a big one, as the Lanier Bulldogs are taking on the Oxford Chargers. And I'm already excited just thinking about what that one will be like and the atmosphere here at Lafayette County. As you see the crowd starting to pile their way out. As the Chargers win tonight, the Commodores come up short, but a good effort and a 6-point loss. That's going to just about do it for us here from Lafayette County High School. For Adam Gore and Don Brooks, we'll see you again next time for the championships of the 4A state tournament. And until next time, everyone, so long. We'll see you tomorrow.